How did I make it through this chaos? And what finally happened when I said, enough is enough? Welcome back to What's Your Take with Sals. And today we have a story that will shock you and maybe even make you think about your own job. Imagine working for three different bosses, each with their own demands, each pulling you in different directions, and each finding a way to make your life miserable. Sounds exhausting, right? Well, for our guest, this wasn't just a bad week, it was about daily survival battle. Let's dive into this madness. Hey, Sals, reporting to three crazy people. Yes, you heard me right. I was reporting to the managing director, the executive director, and the group head of my unit. The dynamics were insane. They all had different requests. And the moment I carried out one, another boss would come back with, "Why didn't you carry me along?" It was like walking on eggshells every single day. I had to make sure I copied everyone on every email just for transparency. Because trust me, in a reporting line like that, you don't want to be caught sleeping. Wherever you see a doctor reporting line, I advise you to run. Oh, one of the bosses I reported to was something else. He never took responsibility for anything, always looking for someone to blame and acting clueless when things didn't go as planned. And guess who was the scapegoat every single time? Me. He threw me under the bus so many times I should have started living there. Then there were the office politics. Some colleagues had personal attachments to the group head, so they would speak on his behalf, creating unnecessary drama. I remember being asked to nominate people for a product training. I told them I needed time to confirm availability, but before I could respond, one lady had already sent names on behalf of someone else. Just like that, I was sidelined from a process I was supposed to lead. Meetings, another battlefield. I quickly learned not to push back too much. The moment I made alternative suggestions, the air would grow so thick with defensiveness. And let's not even talk about the public humiliation. There was one strategy session. I was called out during a coffee break, criticized harshly, and then expected to walk back in and act like nothing happened. Can you imagine that? The tipping point came with my confirmation process. The HR was supposed to meet with my supervisor to discuss that, but nothing was happening. No action was taken. Meanwhile, threats of non confirmation were flying around. I eventually resigned due to constant conflicts and my dissatisfaction with the work environment. Despite my qualifications and contributions, I felt undervalued and treated as incompetent. The lack of respect from my superiors became unbearable. It felt like disciplining a child without explanation, unreasonable and ineffective. On my last day, I informed my superiors about my resignation without prior discussion, which took them by surprise and triggered anger. They saw my decision as rebellious, as if I was the bad boy for not consulting them first. One of my bosses expressed regret about my departure, acknowledging the value that I added to the team despite previous conflicts. He was shocked, saying, "How could you resign just like that?" But by then, I was done. I simply explained that the constant conflicts, the embarrassments, and the poor handling of issues made my decision easy. I knew I deserved better. And you know what? I got a new offer soon after. Because at the end of the day, good managers don't publicly embarrass you, they don't set you up for failure. They correct privately and guide you towards improvement. So, my advice, if you ever find yourself reporting to three bosses at once, it's better to run. Wow, what a roller coaster. My question is, how did you survive working under these three different bosses? How did you meet up with their demands every time? And how did you even bounce back after every conflict or every public embarrassment? Thanks so much for sharing your story. And guys, there you have it. If you also want to share your own work story, your own work experience, this is a safe space. kindly send your story to yourtakewithsals@gmail.com. And remember, guys, like, share, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel now. See you next week.